Today we're going to do the website audit. So this is super important when you're going into the world of wholesale, which I know a lot of you guys are trying to make that transition. There's a right way to do wholesale and there's a completely wrong way to do wholesale that's going to get you completely wrecked. So recently I saved one of my clients from making a $30K purchase order from a bad supplier. It would have either cost him his entire account or lost him his entire investment. And I don't want that to happen to you. And you need to know how to properly vet these suppliers, because now there are more bad suppliers than I've ever seen before. And they're doing dirty tactics that I've never seen people do. So some suppliers are going to tell you, hey, we're authorized in everything. But if you know how to look, you'll be able to tell that they're not authorized, right? That's not something that I've seen suppliers do in the past where they falsely claim that they are authorized. So knowing what to do now is more important than ever. Take 10, 20 minutes to watch this video and save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars and a ton of headache from ending up buying from some of these suppliers or suppliers that are similar. So let's hop into my computer and we're gonna dive right into it. Real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, when I talk about a supplier being bad, unauthorized, or whatever it may be, I am specifically talking about the purposes of selling on Amazon. So if Amazon were to come knocking, can we successfully provide documents and feel confident that we are going to pass that approval process and be good to go? I have my risk tolerance. You're going to have a very different risk tolerance. So take that into account as we're going through the video. I'm just showing you tricks of the trade that I've picked up over the years, and these are just my opinions. But if you're selling on eBay, Walmart, or in your brick and mortar store, then your criteria is going to be very different. So again, for the purposes of what we are trying to do on Amazon, some of these suppliers are not going to be legit, but maybe you could work with them if you are doing a different business model. All right, guys, so this is Jefferson Wholesale. We're going to dive into what makes this supplier bad. These are notes to take, things that should be going off on your radar, showing you like, okay, maybe I should look a little bit deeper, but this is really like that first step. There's the website audit, the first conversation, and then there's the first 90 days, which we're going to talk about later on in a different video. But the website audit is really the very beginning. We need to know, is this supplier even worth contacting, right? So when we're doing arbitrage sourcing, not every single product that we're going to come across is worth taking a really deep dive into. And if we do start doing that, we're wasting way too much time because we're way too slow on the execution. So we want to get really efficient at being able to tell some of these red flags when we're on a supplier website. Now, the biggest thing that I don't like about Jefferson Wholesale, and it really kind of sparked the reason to make this video, is this. A brand new seller who is not really experienced on the platform is going to see this and they're going to be like, great, this supplier is authorized. And what really triggered this was a different supplier that one of my clients was working with. He's like, hey, this supplier is authorized, but Amazon's not accepting their documents. I was like, all right, let me see what letter they gave you. And then also let me see what the supplier's website looks like. There's no way that supplier is authorized. Same with this. There is no way that this supplier is authorized in my opinion. Okay, so it tells you authorized wholesale supplier. New seller is gonna come in, be like, great, I have nothing to worry about. I can source from this supplier. There's gonna be many red flags that pop up throughout this that make me think that this supplier is not authorized, which is going to trigger further investigation, right? So right off the bat is this picture right here. This doesn't even look real. This looks like they did it in Photoshop or they were able to add this onto the building afterwards, but this doesn't look real, okay? That's one thing. Second thing is right here. Why is this icon here and then the words are here? So it's just not professionally done like you would see with a typical supplier website. Even if it's not super nice, at least you're gonna see that it is professionally done. Another one, why are they worried about Amazon sellers? Most big suppliers are not going to be worried about the Amazon sellers that are coming to work with them, and they're definitely not going to be targeting them as like their main source of clients. Okay, they have big giant retailers and companies that are coming to them buying inventory at such a large rate. They're not going to be focused on targeting smaller Amazon sellers. So those are just little things, but these things, although they may seem little, again, they're just triggering that spidey sense so you can kind of start to investigate a little further. Now, what I want you to do next is I want you to grab their address and plug it in to Google Maps. This is 100% of the time you should be doing this. Every single time that you are looking and considering to buy a supplier, you need to look up their address. Are they in a commercial location? Do they have a warehouse? Is that warehouse for that business? Is that warehouse equivalent to the things that they're claiming on their website, right? So we have an address right here for Jefferson Wholesale Inc., okay? But they're telling us all of these great things about their company, right? We have 10 different distribution centers nationwide. So we have 4 million square feet. That is massive, okay? That is such a massive operation and such an established operation. They should have a simple location, right? So if we come up here and we type in their address, no address pops up for what they're giving us. They're just giving us the Washington Avenue. So if we type in here, Jefferson Wholesale Inc., and the city that they're claiming they're in, the only things that pop up are Jefferson Auto, BJ's Wholesale Club, okay? Big red flag. You are a massive company with 10 different distribution centers nationwide. You would have a very clear address that anybody can go and find, okay? Now, the kicker is when you go over into Google and you type in Jefferson Wholesale Inc. reviews, you're going to see Trustpilot here. You're going to have an AI overview right here that scarce, but what exists is mixed with some negative feedback mentioned in broken cars, unfriendly staff. That's not what we're looking for. It doesn't even register in the search engine as a company. They're thinking about the Jefferson Wholesale Inc. that we found earlier that was for the cars, right? So we're going to go right here, Jefferson Wholesale. This is the correct site that we were on. Here's the exact same picture, same building and everything. So if we come down, they have 100% one-star reviews, okay? Click on there. Everybody's saying it's a scam. Okay, right here. We asked them to share their business phone number so we could discuss details before placing an order. They refused, citing security reasons. We also asked, for a warehouse address. They kept sending different addresses and different emails. Please be aware, this is a scammer. Don't waste your time. If you are a massive company, why would you be opposed to giving your customers your phone number, your location? Your location is not a secret, right? So they want to build trust with the customers that are coming in, and they're an established business. So that's something that would be so simple to provide. This guy, I paid $3,000 Jefferson Wholesale, and now they're still asking me for more money instead of giving the product or invoice. This is not professional scam behavior. Scam alert, made purchase $3,000, same guy. And then this site just pretends to be authorized. This site pretends to be authorized. We called 3M and Sharpie, and they clearly mentioned unauthorized, not familiar with this company. This is the shady stuff that I'm talking about that suppliers are doing, and you need to protect yourself more than ever when you're running this business. This isn't meant to scare you. This is meant for you to use caution and skill. Use videos like this one to improve that skill so that you don't go and become a victim to a bad supplier like this and have a terrible first experience. It's already nerve-wracking enough when you're going and you're placing your first few $1,000 order. Now it makes it extremely harder when you're going to go do the exact same thing and then you end up losing the money, you end up getting scammed, okay? So these are things to be aware of. Next one, American Wholesale Co. Reliable U.S. wholesale supplier for Amazon, eBay, Walmart sellers. Now, we already talked before that if they're targeting Amazon, Walmart, e-commerce sellers, chances are they're not going to be a good supplier. Okay, we don't know where those supplies are coming from, and if we need to verify the supply chain and prove that these products came from the brand directly, they're probably not going to help us, okay? A lot of times, these suppliers are going to have products that are just so unrelated that it doesn't make sense. You're going to have suppliers that carry a wide variety of products, but they're all semi-related to each other. Think video games, video game consoles, video game accessories, video game discount gift cards, all related to the same thing. If we are going into the camping niche, you should expect tents, camping gear, hunting gear, knives, guns. You should expect all of these things, but they're all kind of centered around the same thing, right? Different categories, different brands, different stuff like that. But it's not going to be so drastic as we're getting hair rollers and ivermectin. Okay, we're not doing drastically different types of products that it doesn't even make sense. Okay, so this one's not showing it quite as much as the next one that I'm going to show you, but these are just red flags to show, like, even if this supplier were to send you inventory, probably not going to be an authorized supplier. Okay, let me show you a better example of this. So if we come over here, this is Grand Distribution. These are wildly different products, okay? So we have lip gloss and we have knives. We have lawn equipment and we have ivermectin. Like, we have dewormers and we have face cream. All of these different things. We have mouthwash. And then if we start to go down, they're saying that, they have premium brands from all of these things, right? This is why it's important to know what you're doing. A new seller is going to come and say, oh, wow, they have Garnier, they have this, they have that. They have all of these brands and different types of products. This is good. No, this is bad. This is a sign that these guys are just getting inventory from anybody and anywhere that they can, potentially even getting liquidation inventory and then just repackaging it as new. And you're going to be one of the victims that they sell to. And then if Amazon comes knocking, best case scenario, you get the inventory, Amazon comes knocking, they're not going to accept the paperwork that you're providing to them. A lot of people are worried about sourcing arbitrage when they should be more worried about sourcing from bad wholesale suppliers. Guys, I work with a lot of people. I'm in this space every single day, talking to people all day long, clients, people who want to become clients, people just in the business model. And most people are worried, is arbitrage legit? Guys, I'm seeing more problems with wholesale because most people don't understand the business model. They dive right in, they buy from suppliers like this, and then they get shut down when Amazon asks for documents and they can't provide anything that's actually legitimate. Okay, more problems with wholesale than with arbitrage. With arbitrage, you're buying from real legitimate retailers. There is no question whether Target's products, Walmart's products, Dick's Sporting Goods, Best Buy's products are legitimate or not. There is a lot of questions around these suppliers and whether their inventory is legit and where they are getting them from, which is what is causing more and more issues. Next supplier, MinMax Deals. We had another client who bought from them. They were just too eager to jump into wholesale, ignored the signs, which does happen, and then they were not able to get their account back. They ended up having to create an entirely new account. You can see that they focus on the e-commerce sellers, which is already a bad sign. But when you see like the brands that they're talking about all of these big brands, okay? And we get their address right here, okay? We get their address and we want to look at their location. We look at their address, we get our little guy right here, we put it right in front of their building. They are located right around here somewhere, one of these little office spaces, because I found them before. This is a supplier that one of my clients unfortunately used. Again, don't get too eager just to buy inventory, but regardless, just to save time, they are in one of these little suites, okay? If you're telling me that you are working with Garnier, L'Oreal, you're working with these massive companies and you have all of this space and all of this product, and you're showing me this warehouse, making me think that, wow, this supplier's warehouse is humongous and they're storing all of this inventory, you would not be operating your business out of a little suite like this, okay? It just won't happen. Also, if we use them and we do the reviews, they actually have a decent amount of good reviews. See if they're actually legit, because a lot of times they're going to do damage control, which means, oh, we're getting a lot of bad reviews, so we need to go and pump up a bunch of fake reviews. The low reviews is what we're concerned with. If it's a customer service issue, like on a retail side or anything like that, not a big deal. We want to look for, are people getting inventory? Are they Amazon sellers? Are they getting scammed? So on and so forth. Invoices for Amazon won't work and they won't return the inventory. Scammer, not authentic. Scam company stay away, does not provide invoices, long lead times, unable to fulfill orders. No refunds, likely sells liquidated, counterfeited products, denies proof when confronted. Scammer alert. Scam alert, beware customers, do not buy from these invoice issues. Guys, and again, I've already confirmed that a person has bought in this, supplied the invoice multiple times, even got a lawyer involved. They were not able to get their account back. They ended up having to start with a brand new one. But these are the signs that you want to look for, okay? Some of these suppliers actually do give you the inventory. Problem is, it's not inventory we want to sell on Amazon because we can't verify the supply chain. We can't use their invoices. So for the purposes of what we are doing on Amazon, these suppliers are not going to work. But the point of the video isn't just these suppliers, it is these methods, these little things that you need to look out for so that you can protect yourself and you can know how to vet moving forward regardless of the supplier. Remember, how does that website look? Does it look like it has too many unprofessional mistakes? Are they targeting Amazon and e-commerce sellers? Do they have a legitimate address that we can go and look? Do they have a phone number that we can contact? What do the reviews say? What do customers say? What do people say about this business? Is it a scam? Is it not? Are they getting inventory? Are the invoices working? We need to look at all of that. Also, is their product line wildly different that it doesn't even make sense, because we shouldn't have grocery items with video games, with automotive, with lawn equipment. Doesn't make sense. So rewatch this video if you guys need to. Also, if you want a free auto ungate list, over 200 brands completely for free, DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is right here. I will also leave it down below in the description. If you guys want one-on-one coaching, linked down below in the description as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.